Hello people, today I have with us the Action Force Swarm Trooper from Velaverse, and this is my first official 1/12 scale figure. I know Star Wars Black Series is very similar to 12 Series. I know it's actually scaled to 6.75 inches, but these guys are 1/12 scale. I just found out more about this from a video with one of my friends from M Hobby TV. I will link his video in the description. It is a collaboration for a podcast that was very informative, actually, and made me want even more of these guys, which is very, very bad because even though they aren't that expensive, it was something, you know. I don't need a new collection, guys. In any case, let's go ahead and open this guy up. I am very excited to see what this guy looks like out of the box. They say that there's one thing looking at them online, another thing completely when you have them in your hands. So hopefully this is like the incredible thing that I've been hyped up to thinking. All right, so looks like we have a little piece of tape up at the top. So let's go ahead and get my scissors out here, see if I can't slide them in there. The way I'm doing it is very dangerous. Don't do it this way, guys. I don't want to mess up the box because it's pretty cool. Alright, let's see what he looks like here. Come on out, bud. Ooh, there's the base. Alright, you see this actually printing on the back of the box. And there is a write-up on this one. And according to this, additional Action Force products. That's very G.I. Joe's-esque, isn't it? All right, so as you see here, two pieces of plastic holding this guy in. I think there's probably going to be tape on here somewhere. No, it doesn't look like there is. So nice and easy to come off. Tilting my phone back here. Okay. They are sealed in a nice piece of plastic here. That's actually really cool. So it's like a TV dinner almost coming off of this thing. Oh, that feels nice, doesn't it? All right, and as you can see, there's a bunch of hands right here in the box. That's 4 pairs of hands here for us. Looks like he's gently placed in here with the plastic holding him in place. Let's get him on out of here. Okay. Very sturdy, very heavy feeling, so that's already a boon. I love the effect on those eyes. I don't know how well that looks on the camera, but that's fantastic, isn't it? That's a thing. This looks like it can come off. Nice, nice arms. Let's see, twist those guys. I'm supposed to be unboxing this. Why am I doing this already? Okay. I'm just excited, guys. I'm sorry. Set him aside here. Let's go ahead and get these guys out here. We got a long rifle. And we got the small pistol. And we got a very cool looking knife. Very nice edge on that. Looks like it could actually hurt you. And then looks like closed fists. Looks like a holding hand here. And definitely a holding hand for something like a knife. Very cool. I'll leave those guys here for now. And last but not least is the base, which is quite nice. Let's see, this one is taped. Very funny because it's a Ziploc. All right, and that says Action Force on a really cool pattern there. It's got a couple of pegs, probably for the bottom of his feet. Yes, indeed. So you can get some cool poses on that, or, you know, just have him stand here. But I'm probably going to get him in a cool pose before long. Very, very nice looking piece here. I really, really like this so far. So before I go into the articulation, I want to read that blurb that I had on the back here. This one says, file name, various. Primary specialty, special forces. Secondary skills, counterintelligence, counterinsurgency. Birthplace, various. Rank affiliation, ranks unknown. Affiliation, the swarm. After the fall of the United States, each state government maintains order by declaring themselves an independent republic within their territories. Many of these republics were left with minimal or no military assets for defense, making these vulnerable to attack by rival republics. To counter this threat, and that's a redacted right there, Redacted introduced a solution called the Swarm. The Swarm is a paramilitary group controlled by, and that's more redacted, and is comprised of former military personnel from both the U.S. and foreign nations. Swarm troopers undergo surgery to install neural implants in their brain, allowing them to interface as a group, much like a hive of insects. This allows each team member to receive real-time information and react faster as a team rather than as an individual. The cost for utilizing these highly trained mercenaries is high, and Redacted exacts a significant toll on its customers and their control of their republics, making them a pawn in a larger game. So it sounds like these guys are real badasses. I really like that idea. Some paramilitary organization with hive mind type kind of troopers. That's really cool. Alright, so let's go ahead and go into the articulation now. I have said before, I'm not a figure reviewer. I'm not very accustomed to doing this kind of thing, but looks pretty straightforward. I think there is a peg that goes into the top of his head, so you can rotate that as you'd like. And then you have, looks like that peg is set into the side of his neck here, so you can pivot that up and down, which gives you quite a lot of angle to his head, but still enough to keep it realistic. And there is no interference with his armor and his head, so that's always a good thing. At his shoulder, looks like there is a simple peg that goes inside the chest here, and then a very slight amount of lift from that. Nothing unrealistic. There we go with the 360 degree peg at the shoulder here. Looks like a double jointed elbow. That's pretty cool. And you can get that quite far up. So that's really good. And then as we saw on the other hands that I removed, looks like we're going to have a peg that goes into the arm, and then you can also pivot this on it. I don't know how much I want to do that because this is pretty stiff. This one's probably just a peg. Nope, there's a point of articulation there too, so you can pivot this up and down. Again, I don't know how much I want to do that here. I'll probably warm it up before I end up messing with that. Let's get that back in position. All right, so that's pretty nice. Next, at the chest, it looks like there's a peg that goes up into the top here, and that's probably ball jointed up here. There's also, it seems like, similar to the head, where that is a pivot point at the top too. So you get quite a lot out of that one. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't taken it apart, so I don't know just yet. Next, the lower waist to the lower upper body. We have, it looks like a pivot point here, maybe a ball joint. Pretty good, and it adds to that overall flexibility here. So you can probably get some really nice martial art poses. That's cool. Looks like we have the standard T inside here. It does look like we can articulate that T similar to the 30-minute sisters that have the two that go together, and then you can arc them up like this. I can't see that well, but I do see that there's a joiner in the middle of them, so it isn't just a straight bar like some of the frame arms girls. Looks like there's a pivot point here, so you can rotate this. Let's see, we got all the way up and all the way out this way. That piece of rubber here, which is pretty cool webbing, does constrain that a little bit. You don't want to pinch it, so be careful of that. Knees look like they're double jointed, so you have this point here and you have this point back here. So you do that in a combination and you can get somewhat of a realistic look. Not too bad. I'd probably stay with the lower side. Maybe something, a combination of the two. Not bad, not bad. Foot looks like a very big ball joint. It's probably something like the frame arms girls. Two pieces put together with one point going upward and one point going into the foot. Which, yeah, that kind of looks like how it's done. Let's see if I can pivot this. No, actually I can't. So maybe I was wrong. Maybe it's just one going upward and then this is fused together on the bottom. Either way, not too bad. I do kind of wish it had that rocking motion that the frame arms girls have. That's okay. We can still do some dynamic poses without that. So at the back, we have a mounting point here, and we have a holster for the knife that I showed. There's also a holster for the gun, which I just loaded up. Nothing to hold this weapon onto his back, but I'm sure you'd probably want this one in his hands. It's very nice looking. So this guy does look like he's ready for action. Indeed, I think this one is my favorite of the ones that I had seen. I really like the idea of the hive mind type soldier. That's really cool to me. I'm sure these guys are bad guys, but I tend to like the bad guy look. I'm trying to get this one in here if you guys don't notice. I'm sure that's what you guys are watching while I'm talking. But I did see quite a few other ones available, and well, I didn't see quite a few. I saw quite a few options, but only a few were available. So hopefully I can get my hands on the ones that I want. I'm probably just an idiot. I need to warm this up and get these hands outwards so I can flex that in there. I don't want to mess him up. He's a very nice guy, and I don't want to ruin his day. Let's do this. We're going to cheat. I'm going to bend it out and then put it in. Okay, okay. That looks not bad. Okay. So let's see how well he stands up too with that gun. Make sure his feet are at the right level and he doesn't want to stand up. Okay. Come on, buddy. You can do better than that. I know you can. You're designed for this. There we go. So I'm going to have to experiment a little bit with the posing on this one. See how I can get these the multiple joints a little bit looser, or maybe just warm him up a little. It is pretty cold out here, so that's probably something. That said, I think I really like this guy, and I kind of want to get like 15 more. I won't, but that's what's on my mind right now. I just want to get a whole bunch of them. There are a lot more options available, but again, they weren't really available for sale. So I'm trying to be strategic on what I get. I have way too many loves, so there's things that I'm going to have to sacrifice. This might be a new addiction. I can already tell I like it way too much, and man, this is crazy. Okay, well, we're going to leave him right here real fast. And I want to do a size comparison with the stuff that I normally have. Give me 1 second. Here you see him beside a 1/144 scale high-grade Gundam. Not much taller than him, but you can see exactly why I wanted this one if you look at it. With another 1/144 scale, This is the alto. This is exactly what I was hoping for. So with the 1/12 scale in mind, the Frame Arms Girls and Frame Arms series are roughly around that same size as each other. And this being a 1/100 scale, that's cool, whatever. But as a human-sized robot, he looks pretty well at home with this guy here. So that is giving me a lot of excitement there. Yes, she is very anime aesthetic, but the height is what is just tickling me the right way. That is so cool to see Architect with someone that's actually masculine. And don't get me wrong, I've had Star Wars figures. They do sell those. They do sell model kits that are 1/12 scale, but this is just really cool to me that, you know, it's a really cool dude, you know, it's really cool. Man, I'm hyped. In 1/24 scale, the Hexagear Governor here is much, much smaller than he is, but you can see they have about the same proportions. These are both really big guys in their scale. And to give us Gundam fans a benchmark here, the Master Grade Alex Gundam is still a little bit taller than my 1/12 scale Swarm. Alright, and the last thing I want to do before I close out is I want to see how hard it is to take these hands out. Okay, that's a little tough, so be very careful with these guys. You don't want to mess with them too much, but they do come out. I definitely want to get these guys a little bit looser before I try doing some hardcore changing out. But there it is. There he is with his open hand here, his supporting hand. Let's see if we can get him to pose with his rifle. There you go. That looks pretty good. Let's get him in a stepping position. I think he's a little bit stiffer than I'd like him to be in this weather anyway. I think we need to get him inside and warm him up. But he's really, really cool looking. I think I got a winner here. And this one is from, like I said, the Valaverse or Valaverse. I'm going to definitely look into it. It's a website, valaverse.com. So there's going to be a lot of information on this guy. I really, really dig it. So I am... thanks, Mike, and thanks, Em. Thank you, Wayne, and Joe, the casual nerd. I don't like you guys anymore. You guys making me buy stuff I really shouldn't be buying. I have other collectibles to look at, and you guys are really taking my money away from where it needs to go. But this guy, super cool dude, super cool color scheme. The paint application is almost perfect. I was looking over it, and I don't see any blemishes. I mean, there isn't a highly detailed paint scheme on here, but honestly, it's relieving to see that even on something with just these three colors, there aren't any mistakes, because I get those black series ones, and I have to look through if they have them. Look through 1, 2, 3 different boxes before I get to the one that has a good paint application. And now I paint, so it's not that big a deal, but still, it's like, it shouldn't be that way. You know, I shouldn't have those kinds of issues with something that costs as much as they do now. Now, those are $25, and like I said, they are in 1/675" scale, something like that. I will look it up, and I'll put it on the screen for you guys so you can make sure I'm not just baloneying you. But this one is in 1/12 scale, so they should be, in theory, a little bit more consistent with their heights. Now, remember, Black Series being around $25 to $27. If you get them at a store, if you try to get them aftermarket, they're going to be $30 to $50. You might get lucky and get like an Admiral Holdall for like $10. But anything aftermarket usually goes up, up, up. So I've seen them as high as $50 for the ones that I want. Now, I'm not that particular in my characters. If they have 15 different Darth Vaders, I'll just get the one that I like. I don't need the super special rare editions. I'm okay with having just one. But this guy, this one was $30, $32, something like that. And I got it from Big Bad Toy Store. So I think it was $4 shipping and handling. Not a bad deal, honestly. It's just a really fun unit. Like, you know, you see this guy, he's really badass. And I really like the idea that I can use him as a bad guy for my Frame Arms girls. So I think that's definitely what his goal is going to be now, is to harass those girls or give them... Now, you say harass those girls. That was a horrible thing to say. Why would I say it? I'm going to get canceled on Twitter.com. He's going to be able to show them that they can't just run this world, that they have someone to contend with now. So that'll be a lot of fun to play with. Now, I'm hoping that sooner rather than later I get a couple more of these guys. Maybe these, maybe something else. There are quite a few of them available. Something to look into, to maybe make a team of people to contest the Frame Arms Girls' dominance in my household. Same thing goes with the 30-Minute Sisters. They are always roaming around, leaving their trash wrappers everywhere. I'm joking, of course, but they're always out there. They're the ones that have my wallet right now. So we're going to try to change things up here. So with the new balance of power shifted in my household, let us see what happens next. Until then, though, I will see you guys next time, or you'll see me. But more than likely, you'll see my stuff. Bye-bye.